Right, hello lads and lasses, welcome back to Boys Down Under, where today or tomorrow, wherever you are, Celtic are set to play Bayer Leverkusen in the Europa League in what is the homecoming of Celtic boy Jeremy Frimpong. As usual, we'll be covering the match, both teams' forms heading into it, injuries and suspensions, my Celtic starting 11 and my final score prediction. Before we get into the video though, I'm setting a goal of 960 subscribers by kickoff tomorrow morning or tonight, wherever you are. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Or if you've got family and friends who want, just get them to click that button. It all helps and it is greatly appreciated. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, Celtic are set to play in the Europa League tonight in the UK and tomorrow morning for the rest of you boys down under here. And look, we're playing at Paradise and it's going to be a pretty stellar match, I'd say. Now, as for form, Celtic are currently in a bit of a slump. Everyone knows it, I know it, you know it. There's nothing, we just have to accept it. Since the international break, Celtic have only won twice in the whole 5 matches. And those 2 wins were against a Ross County team and a Wraith Rovers championship side team. A 4-3 loss in Spain to Real Betis kicked off our Europa League campaign, but as we lost that game, we are now sitting equal last in the group. As for Bayer Leverkusen, they are sitting second on the Bundesliga ladder, scoring 16 goals in 6 matches. And since the international break, they've won 4 games out of 5. Their only loss, a 4-3 loss to Dortmund, and that game was probably just, you could just put it down to an Erling Haaland masterclass. Like, I don't really think you could put it down to much else. As for the Europa League, however, they have opened their campaign with a 2-1, very narrow win over Ferencváros. Florian Ritz saved the day there, a danger man for Leverkusen, but they currently top the group, equal top with Real Betis. Now, as for injuries and suspensions, and we'll start with the away side first, they are currently out with a host of players. They haven't got right back Forsu Menas, they haven't got centre back Tapsoba, and their 2 midfielders, Baumgartlinger and Palacios. Also, centre back Kosuno is in a fitness battle at the moment. He'll have until an hour before kickoff. That's when the lineups come out to prove his fitness to the coach and to the rest of the fitness physio team, whatever you want to call them. Now, as for the green and whites, we are without Chris Julian, Karamoko, and Josip Juranovic. McGregor and Kyogo both could play and was very vague about them, but it's expected both of them won't, and they'll get game time instead against Aberdeen on the weekend. However, Georgios Giacomakis, he is unlikely to be involved, but there is a greater chance of him being on the bench than the latter of Kyogo and McGregor. So watch this space there. We might get to see his debut at Paradise Under in a European night. That would be pretty cool. Score on the winner. It's written in the stars. Look, other than this, McCarthy is fit and available. He recovered from the knock that put him off at half-time against Dundee United. And yeah, apart from this, we have the rest of the squad available. No religious nights to go for. No suspensions, nothing. We're all good. And this leads me into my starting lineup. And like usual, I'll be trying to mix it between, you know, what I think Ange will play and what I want Ange to play, because there's a lot of positions where I want someone to play, but I just know there's no chance of him getting that spot. And I'll say that when we go through the lineup. So let's get straight into it. Of course, at Of course, at goalkeeper, we have got Joe Hart, captain of the side at the moment, while McGregor is still returning. At right back, we've got Tony Ralston, who's our only fit, recognised right back in the club right now. So he's going to have to put a shift and a half in. It's going to have to be a lot better than his recent performances, I must say. As for the 2 centre-backs, we're going with Cameron Carter-Vickers and Carl Starfelt. Personally, I'm a Welsh fan. I want Welsh to play, but Ange is definitely a Starfelt merchant. He'll play Starfelt unless Starfelt is injured. I think we could make a safe bet there. Then at left back, I'm going with Liam Scales, and I feel he will get his starting debut for the club purely because Celtic need to keep Montgomery on the bench as an attacking sub. In saying that though, Monty did get the jump over Scales in the last game when Juranovic came off and he got the left back spot, but we'll have to see. I do think it should be Scales there. And then into the midfield, we are going with James McCarthy, of course. Soro just should be sold. I'm leaving it at that. Then the rest of it's pretty self-explanatory. David Turnbull as the box-to-box, and then Tommy Rogic up at cam, who's going to have to fix a couple of his final passes today if Celtic are going to want to score. Then on the two wings, it is Abada and Jota. Both players have been absolutely superb for Celtic. I've touched on it recently, very, very briefly as well, but they have been the standouts for Celtic. They have been the reason Celtic have actually won a couple games and have actually stayed in the fight for a couple of them as well. They're just such class footballers at such young ages, and yeah, they're going to need to be on form again tonight or tomorrow, wherever you are. And then, of course, Albion Ajeti up top, who has been worse than terrible, which I thought was impossible, but the man keeps defying the odds, and it's fair play to him for that. Now, into my final score prediction, and I want to be realistic here. I want to be so realistic, and I just want to say Celtic are going to get absolutely pumped. But at the same time, my heart is telling me that I don't believe that, and you got to go with your heart sometimes. And look, we're playing at home because there are things that are in our favour. We have to consider this. Not everything is against Celtic at the moment. We're at home, and Celtic have been tribute to so many famous nights, famous European nights under the lights at Paradise. And fingers crossed, tonight is one of those nights, or tomorrow morning. It doesn't matter. But fingers crossed, it is one of those nights because Celtic are going to need that magic, that Paradise magic. And look, because the way Leverkusen have been playing recently, I'm not an avid Bundesliga watcher, but the way they play with such an intensity. They play with such pace. The way they pass the ball, it always has pace on it. It's never a slow pass or a sloppy pass. They're such a well-drilled team, and they're one of the best Bundesliga teams out there. Of course, no one's going to be better than Bayern Munich, but they are certainly, if not the second best team in the league right now. And look, it's going to be a real tough game for Celtic, 110%, especially when they have Florian Wirtz in the team. He's 18 years old, but he is arguably their best player. He plays an attacking mid, so if Celtic haven't got a game plan or a strategy to shut him down, he is going to wreak havoc and make our defense look sillier than it already is. Starfelt is going to have a horrendous night if Florian Wirtz is not shut down. I can guarantee you that. That is the one thing I know, and I think everyone else should know about this Bundesliga team. And look, it is an impressive side nonetheless, but he is a danger man, Florian Wirtz. He will be the man to break the game open. He will be the man to set everything up for Leverkusen. But look, if Celtic have a game plan to shut him down, like I've said, and they stick to their game plan, they're resilient in defense, and they decide to put the ball in the back of the net rather than the crossbar, I've got no reason to believe Celtic cannot get a point or points from this game. Points is a very, very unrealistic thing, but a point I would have taken a point last week, 2 weeks ago against Real Betis, but no, we can't do that. But nonetheless, look, I'm setting the bar so extremely low for my hopes, but I am going to predict, I'm going to kill myself for this, a 2-2 draw. 2-2 draw. And look, you may ask where those goals are going to come from because Celtic haven't been able to score 2 goals unless it was against Wraith Rovers or Ross County. We scored 2 against Real Betis, to be fair, but this Bundesliga team is a level above them. But keep an eye out for Abada, Jota, and Turnbull. Those 3 players are Celtic's danger man. They are our secret stuff, I guess you could say. They're going to be where the goals come from, and if the goals can't come from them and they're not on form tonight, it's going to be a very, very long night, also if our defense isn't in shape. But 2-2 draw, there's something in the air, I can feel it. It's going to be a special night at Paradise, but that is all from me. So remember to subscribe, remember to get everyone you know to subscribe. We're trying to hit our goals, small goals, but if we can hit further than that, I'll be even happier. But all from me. So will I live stream the game? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? I'll have to see how I feel. Because I got to wake up at 5 a.m. Enough jibber jabbing. So until next time, hail, hail.